Welcome to the Right Now Show, presented by the Laguna Woods Writers Club. And welcome to the Right Now Show. I'm Charlie Redner.
And I'm Judy Saxon. And this is a program where we put the emphasis on writers and the arts.
So Judy, what have you been doing over the summer months?
I'm so glad you asked. I took tango lessons.
Wow.
Right here in the village. We've got some wonderful teachers. I just loved it. And I heard about square dancing. So now I'm taking square dancing lessons and I can't stop smiling. It just brings this joy out. And then I heard about a line dancing class, so I'm doing that too. So it burns calories, and I think it's good for our brain to learn new steps. So,
wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's fun. So how about your summer?
Oh, I see. I had a couple of teeth pulled. I'm waiting for the tooth fairy to come and put implants in, and then I let an ophthalmologist slice my eye open and put a new lens in, you know. But I really had fun this summer. I helped the Aquadettes launch their 51st annual show, and it was a blast.
I was there for the first time. I love that too.
Yeah.
I'd never been there. The music, the costumes,
I know,
the synchronized swimming.
Right, and they're looking for new swimmers now. The season's over.
Are they?
They'll have a couple of months break before they start in again, but they're looking for new swimmers, so anybody would be interested in that, come out.
Yeah, that was a delight. And another delight are the two guests we have today. Our first guest is Pam Goodman, who grew up in Kenya, and she has begun to write about her childhood. And part of that childhood is going to a boarding school, a Catholic convent, where she was expelled at age 14. I'd like to hear more about that. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you.
Hi, Pam.
Thank you. Yes, that was interesting. We had gone across the street to my brother's school because they were having some kind of a show, and there were 5 of us. And when we came back, because we hadn't invited this one girl, she told on us, and the nuns were waiting for us.
Oh.
And we were put into solitary confinement.
Oh my!
Yes.
In a room all by yourself?
Well, we were all together in one room.
And what grade would that have been then? You were probably...
I was 14. I don't know what the equivalent would be here.
Junior high school
Junior
grade,
high.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said that was the end of your education?
That was the end of my education. And when I went back home, I had to get a job. My dad bought me a little car. It was square with spoke wheels. And I drove to work every day.
At 14. Mm-hmm. How old were you when you started the convent?
I was 7 when I first started going to boarding school.
That's young, yeah.
Yeah.
And it took 3 days to get there.
It took 3 days to get there by ferry boat, lake steamer, train, and bus.
Oh, and you only saw your parents, what, every 3 months?
Yes.
And 7 years old, that must have been
difficult.
hard.
That's probably why I got expelled.
Oh, that's one way to get
And
back
what
home.
type of work did you do then at 14?
I worked for a dentist.
Oh.
A local dentist, and I had to stand and hold the tray when he pulled teeth out. He put the bloody teeth on the tray. It was horrible. But still, it was a job. He was a very nice man.
And then you lived in Cyprus, I read, for 10 years. Now, how did that come about?
Well, I had gone to visit a friend of mine, a Chinese lady who had restaurants all over the world, and I had known her in Nairobi, and I was going to South Africa to visit my mother, and she said, "Why don't you stop off in Cyprus?" So I did, and we were invited to dinner the following night to an Austrian couple, friends of hers, and they had a house guest, an Englishman, who they told him that there was an American divorcee coming to dinner, and he said, "I want nothing to do with it. She'll have blue rinse hair and she'll be living on her husband's alimony."
Oh.
So anyway, actually I had red hair and I had no alimony, so the next thing I knew, he was sitting next to me at dinner. And we were married about 2 years later.
Well, that's very romantic.
Yes, and then he died 10 years after. So I came back to the States.
Is that when you started your other journeys? You've been all over Europe, Ecuador, Peru, Tahiti, Denmark?
Yes, well,
Wow.
my son's high school soccer team were invited to Ecuador and Peru, because we had hosted the Ecuadorian team. And so I was invited to go as the team mother, and the coach went, of course. And so we took them up to Machu Picchu.
Oh, yes.
And my son and two of his friends didn't want to go on the guided tour. So they climbed this very steep hill, and unbeknownst to me, one of the boys caught a lizard and put it in his backpack. And when we were coming home on the plane, I saw him putting grass in his backpack. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm feeding my lizard." Well, he got through customs.
He did.
And his mother called me the next day. She was furious. But she grew to love that lizard, and it got bigger and bigger and had to go to a zoo.
Oh my goodness. What a story.
It was an adventure.
And you're writing about this now? You picked up the pencil finally?
Yes, I'm writing about from the very beginning. They say you should write in 7-year increments.
Okay.
Whatever you can remember till the age of 7 and so on. So it's very interesting.
Now, how did you get to Kenya in the first place? Were you born there?
Yes.
So your parents lived there?
Yes,
obviously.
my mother was a dancer at the London Palladium.
Oh.
And she danced in Paris and all over England and Scotland and Wales. And she went to the south of France and made a movie with Maurice Chevalier.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
And then my dad rode his motorcycle from South Africa to Kenya when he heard about the gold rush. So, and in the meantime, my mother came out to Kenya for a visit, and that's where they met.
Oh.
So she went from dancing at the London Palladium to living in a thatched hut and cooking on a wood-burning stove.
She could write. She could have
was
written a
brave.
book.
She became a Jane, huh?
I could write a book just about her.
Yes.
You should.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll start
Or at
it.
least part of your memoir, you know, should be.
So she adjusted to that life in the thatch.
She did
with the
well.
thatch.
She did well. She really did. She was very brave.
Yes.
I'll say.
Yes. And then how did you get to the United States from Africa?
I met an American at a square dance.
Oh.
There you go, Judy.
They were Indian ladies in saris, and you know, they just wear those little bodices. And so he had to put his arm around them to dance with them, but there was bare skin, you know, from the bodice to the hips.
Right.
And he was very embarrassed. But anyway, yeah, so we got friendly and we dated for a while, and then he proposed to me. He wanted to stay in Kenya because he loved it.
Oh.
And but unfortunately, the political situation was a bit upside down. So
Sure.
we came back to the States.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
I'm interested, you have another hobby. You are sewing.
Yes, I love to
unusual
sew.
items.
Yes, I made this top.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
I made these purses.
Let's show the purses.
Here's one of them. This is silk,
Isn't that beautiful?
and it's appliqued.
May I see
Charlie,
it,
do you
please?
want to hold
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I'd love
up
to
for
see
the
it.
camera?
Oh, and there's a Japanese lady here, huh? This is really nice.
Yes,
Wow.
like
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
geisha girls, and there's another one.
Oh my goodness, the work. Here, do you want to hold that?
They're basically silk with the
Wow.
appliques.
Now, how long does it take you to make each one?
Oh, quite a few hours.
I would think days.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. But we have a lovely sewing room here.
yes, we do.
Oh,
And
you
then
go
I
to the
make
classroom?
Christmas
Is it
stockings.
Clubhouse 4, is it?
Yes, Clubhouse 4.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh,
Santa's coming.
yes.
Beautiful.
And now, do you sell these?
Yes. Yes.
What a gift this would make.
Yes.
Yes, it's super. I got 2 now. Can you see those? I love this
Look
one.
at that.
That is beautiful.
Beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
They're different.
And what an unusual gift that would be for somebody.
I know.
Oh,
I'm going to be buying some, so.
so you have a customer right here.
Yes.
Good.
Right here.
Well, that's great.
Now, you're a member of the Writers Club.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
how did you find the Writers Club?
How
Through
did
the-
I find them?
Yeah, through the Globe or.
Well, I had joined the publishing club, and then I heard about the Writers Club.
Yes, yes.
So I joined the Writers Club.
Yes.
Got to take it a step at a time.
Right.
I
Yes,
wasn't
you need
ready.
it right before you publish,
Yeah.
correct?
Right, right.
Get the words down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful club, as we know. As we
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
And do you write daily, or are you just getting into the
I
habit?
try. My daughter told me to stop doing the crosswords and write instead. So I listened to her. So that's what I do every morning.
Do you compose on a computer, or do you have a
I don't have a computer yet.
you typewriter or
I
handwritten?
just handwrite.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah, but then once I get my computer, then I'll be able to type it and
And we have
print it.
we have a computer club here.
I know.
Also.
I know.
That they can
Yeah.
help you. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It'll be good too if you transcribe it yourself. You'll find that you'll make changes then during that process. It's like
yes,
an editing
I rather
process.
enjoy handwriting it. I
Yes.
really do. Yes, make little notes on the side and add them in.
Now, how did you find Laguna Woods? Here you've lived all over and traveled all over the world, and
Some friends of mine lived here, and they highly recommended it. And yeah, I just thought I'd give it a try.
Were you
and
living in
I've
California then when you found out about it?
been- Yes, yes.
Where?
And I was living in San Clemente,
Oh, okay.
and I was working in San Clemente, and my son and his wife and children were there. So it was nice to be close to them and babysit the grandchildren.
sure, sure.
Were you working for a dentist in San Clemente?
No, I worked for Kinko's, which was now FedEx.
Okay.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And now
okay.
you'll learn something about publishing. You saw how ink goes on paper, right?
That's right, yeah.
Well, I think you're going to have a very interesting book.
Thank you.
I believe so, too.
Yes.
It will be.
Absolutely.
It is a bit painful sometimes.
Oh,
especially
yes.
Of course.
Writing about being expelled.
Yes, yes.
And how it
like-
changed your life dramatically.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Wow. Well, thank you, Pam. Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you. It was very interesting.
Nice meeting you. Thank you
Nice
so
meeting
much.
you. Thank you. And we will be right back with Joyce Alderson, another member of the Writers Club.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. It has no cure. Parkinson's is not limited to how a person moves. It can also cause symptoms like depression, fatigue, and impaired speech. Today, there is a new diagnosis every 9 minutes, though Parkinson's can be present for years before being diagnosed. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure. For more than 50 years, APDA has funded pioneering research and provided critical support to those affected by Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
Welcome back. We're so happy to have Joyce Alderson with us. Joyce has won ribbons for her haiku and her nonfiction humor. She's a retired teacher. Welcome, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, everybody.
Now, tell us about haiku, because I've never done it. You've done it, Charlie.
I've written haikus,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Haiku, although we often credit it to the Japanese, there is evidence that it went farther back, but we do credit the Japanese. 3 lines writing about nature. And I researched last night, and usually it's something to do with a scene, snow or birds or something.
Weather.
Flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Did you bring one you can read for us?
Well, I wrote some last night. I'm rusty, but it was good for me to get going. Village seniors, poking, wiggling, swinging, golfers at the tee.
Oh, I love that.
I live on one of the golf courses here, so I look out and see the trees and the golfers.
Yes.
Undulating fur, floating across the wall, golden squirrels.
Oh, I love squirrels.
I love them too. So
yeah.
does my cat. She just looks at them.
She loves to look at them. Yes.
Loud, annoying, eyes averting, wings on an updraft. Pesky, clever crows. This is all from my backyard here in the village.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Warming both my ankles, singing how she loves me. My cat.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to have to invite you to the Spoken Word Club where we read haikus and poetry and short stories.
Good.
Yes.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
I would love that.
I'm going to send you a note so you can know how to find us. They're wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for
I
sharing
have a couple
those.
of limericks. You want to do those?
Sure. Now, tell us what a limerick, for those that don't know.
Limericks, supposedly they were started in Limerick, Ireland. They're pretty baudy. I bought some books a few years ago and I got rid of them because
Remember, this is a family show.
a lot of them are not suitable for my granddaughters. So I wrote a couple of nice ones. I once had a girlfriend named Sue who worked in a reptilian zoo. One day a gator just jumped up and ate her. Now all that is left is her shoe. Boo-hoo.
Oh,
Lyrics are 5 poems, and the syllables in each, the first, second, and fifth line are the same. And it's a very specific setup, and I love it because it really makes you think.
Yes.
I have one more.
sure.
Love to hear it.
There once was a man with a habit who jumped all around like a rabbit. So he pulled down his nose, way down to his toes. Now all of his grandkids can grab it.
Oh, those are wonderful.
They're very cute.
It's so much fun.
They will enjoy you very much at the Spoken Word Club, believe me.
Oh,
Yes, yeah, and it's fun to hear them.
there's so much to do here at the village. I just can't do it all enough.
That's true. We get overcommitted with all the clubs and activities, don't we?
Yeah, I love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, how long have you lived here?
I moved just a little over a year.
Oh, so you're
yeah,
relatively
yeah, so
new.
I'm still pretty new. I hardly get lost anymore.
Oh,
Hardly.
you could write a limerick about getting lost here.
I will.
Or a haiku.
Can you
I
write
will
while
do
we're
that.
waiting? How about your background? You were a teacher. What did you teach?
Yes,
what grades
I'm a
and
retired
where?
teacher. I ended up as a specialist at ESL after the opportunity to teach in Chile for a year. So I knew what it was like to be a parent of a child that I could not speak the language, couldn't read the teacher's notes, knew all that frustration. So when I came back, that's where I directed my education. So I went from just a regular teacher to a specialist in ESL. And it was really
Spanish
fun.
is a second language. You taught English.
English is a second language. There's a new term for it now, but that's the best term. Every day I felt like I had the UN in front of me.
Oh, oh.
It was fun. The
Yes.
kids were from everywhere.
Did you teach down in South
sorry?
America? Did you teach in South America?
Yes, in Chile, in English. Didn't know a word of Spanish, so the students were in a boarding school if they didn't live nearby, and they had to speak to my children. And myself, in English because we didn't know any Spanish.
Did you eventually learn enough Spanish just by...
You know what? You can survive if you don't speak the language.
Right.
But it's really boring and lonely.
Oh, I'm
Do you
sure.
watch the TV? I've heard so many people come here to America, watch English, and then learn to speak it. I mean,
I've heard that too, yeah.
They
watch
love I
Spanish?
Love Lucy if they're learning English because she's so dramatic. But it was a good experience to know what it's like to be in another culture.
Sure.
And my son was in 3rd grade. And my children are both blonde, and all the girls kept coming up and touching his hair.
Oh.
Que bonita. One day he asked me, he was 8 years old at the time, if I could polish his blonde hair with shoe polish to make it black like all the rest of the kids.
how we want to assimilate and be part of, right?
Yeah, he did. He knew he was different, and he didn't want to be.
How about that?
Yeah. How
You were
did-
down there for a year?
Yes, for
Wow.
a year.
That's a wonderful
as we
experience.
flew to from California to, we were in Iquique, which is very northern part near Peru. The pilot announced that we were passing over the equator, and my son said, "Mom, it's dark. I can't see it."
Oh.
He's used to looking at a map. And
That's
seeing-
right. Yeah, there's no
wanted
line,
to look
but
for
there
it.
is a line in Ecuador that you can step on.
Crust, yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get the job? You applied for
It was
it?
there were 2 other full-time couples that were full-time Methodist ministers, and they needed 2 more teachers.
Oh.
So my then husband and I were both teachers, and we just did a brave thing. We just
You did.
packed up our kids and had to get shoes for them as they grew for a year and clothes.
Oh.
So-
Before you left.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
think about those things.
No, when you're traveling with children, yeah.
Yeah, you do then.
And the Chilenos love blonde children, so we had a wonderful experience.
Oh, you do something that I'm such an animal lover that I think is fascinating. You raise guide dogs.
Guide dogs for the blind, yes.
Yes.
How does that work? When do you get them and when do you have to
Well,
let them go?
they're bred in San Rafael, California, and there's also a main office in Boring, Oregon. I've never been to Boring. But they're bred because the blind person's life depends on them, so we can't get shelter dogs, which I would prefer.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, but they're bred because they take the best of the best of the buzz. Guide Dogs for the Blind uses golden or labs or lab mixes, but not the chocolate labs. Apparently they're either too hyper or they're stolen. I don't know why. But anyway, they're raised with the breeder for 8 weeks, and then we get them.
8 weeks you
And
get
we
it.
have, and we have them about a year and a half. It's really fun. I take them to the library, we went to the movies.
Do you take more than one at a time?
No, just one.
Just one?
Just one. It's a
Okay.
full-time job. It's like having a baby because you have to keep them going. I took one of the black labs to the Segerstam Hall and concert, and my granddaughters were sitting on each side, each holding the leash. The dog was laying down here until the soprano hit a high note, and the dog's ears went up and sat up. He looked around at my granddaughter, said, "Give me the leash." They didn't want any responsibility on what that dog did. But they're a wonderful joy, and the people that get them are very grateful. The dogs are worth a lot of money because of all of our volunteer work. And we do, with the blind people, and I would like people to know, a person with visual impairment does not have to pay a penny for the dogs.
Oh, good.
They're free training, you're flown in, you're given them, the dog is matched to you, you're given support. It's a wonderful program. It's a wonderful program.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Now,
very-
do you audition for this? How do they choose
There are
the
local
people?
clubs. The one I was in was called BARC, Bray Area Adult Raisers Club, KLUB. There are different ones in the area. Actually, the 7 western states have them, and so we're kind of a support system. We trade dogs, we work with each other's dogs, so that the dog does not get used to just me.
Right.
If I had a
Oh.
dog here, the dog would be down here on my left,
Sure.
laying down,
Right.
and be behaving himself.
Wow.
That is a puppy they have to learn.
Oh, that's so wonderful you do that.
It's so
that
much fun.
work.
And I'm amazed at how much people are curious about it. They wear jackets saying they're in
I
training.
know. Are we supposed to ignore
We
them?
are,
Or
we are.
We're not supposed to.
The dogs that are, if some dogs are calm, they can handle it. Some get really hyper. So it depends on the puppy. And then the blind person, several of the people that I know, you can pet their dogs with permission, and some of them don't touch the dogs at all. It
Right.
depends on the person. So always ask and accept the answer.
That's
Always
exactly
ask.
right.
Okay.
Always, just say,
If
is
you
it
should-
okay? Little 2-year-olds will come up, and then we
Right.
say, better go
I don't
stay
think we're
with
going to have
mommy.
time to talk about photography, Judy.
I know. Oh, this went so fast. Wow.
Well, you're lovely interviewers. You're lovely listeners.
Well, thank you.
Like sitting in our living room. This is a new set. We're enjoying this so much. It's
I love
beautiful.
this new set. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Joyce. You're a delight.
It's so
thank
much
you.
fun.
Thank you.
You'll have to come back again. There's so much more to talk about with our two guests today.
I know.
I work
know.
cheap.
Well, Charlie, do you have some words to live by?
I
or-
have words that I thought would be appropriate for today's show.
Yeah, okay.
Wherever you go, go with all your heart.
Oh,
Isn't
I like that. Yeah.
Confucius said that.
Oh.
And another one about travel. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page.
Oh.
And that was sent by St. Augustine.
Okay. Well, I chose one about dogs. Dogs' lives are too short. Their only fault, really. Isn't that the truth? Oh.
Yeah.
And Agnes Sly Turnbull said that, who was a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See a lot of doggies in this neighborhood, I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Great companions, wonderful
They were
companions.
the first ones I met.
Aw. Well, don't forget the Writers Club meeting. It's the second Friday of the month, 3 o'clock. I used to say Clubhouse 3. Now it's the Center for Performing Arts,
Performing Arts Center,
Dining
right?
Room 1.
You got it. See you all there.
I'm
And
Judy
See
Saxon.
you at the Spoken Word.
Hey, everybody.
And I'm Charlie Redner.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye-bye. That was a lot.
You may know AgeWell for delivering life-saving Meals on Wheels to homebound seniors. But did you know they keep seniors active and engaged at 10 modern centers? Serve nutritious congregate meals amid friendly surroundings. Transport seniors safely to and from appointments. And provide much-needed equipment and other essential services. Now, this vital nonprofit organization needs your support to sustain its mission. This is AgeWell Senior Services. Won't you make it yours?
We love to show people that our sight loss won't hold us back. Thanks to free classes at Braille Institute, we're returning to the things we love. We're connecting with the world using today's technology. And we're learning to get back in the game. Thanks to Braille Institute, it's about what we can do, not what we can't.
Get information about free programs available from Braille Institute Anaheim, or learn about our new center in South Orange County by calling 1-800-BRAILLE or visit brailleinstitute.org.